This is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. What we're going to juice today is one of my favorite fruits, and it's right here. These are called cactus fruits, also called tunas. And, there's been a lot of information going around about the Nopalinda or cactus fruit juice. And, there's a multi-level company selling you juice in bottles. Now, definitely, in my opinion, juice in bottles definitely better than drinking a soda, Coke, coffee, things like that. But I would encourage you to always, get the food from the source. So get your own cactuses, whether you got to buy them at a regular grocery store, and some grocery stores do sell these. They may sell for about 99 cents each. The secret there is to go to an ethnic grocery store, such as a Mexican market, where they may sell them for 99 cents a pound, or sometimes 5 or 6 for $1. So they can get much less expensive. Better than that yet is grow your own. So you could grow a cactus, a special kind of cactus that'll grow these fruits for you. Now, these fruits are purported to contain many different phytonutrients and phytochemicals, vitamins and minerals that may be beneficial, some of which are very high in vitamin C, calcium, and magnesium. And even things like this contains 8 amino acids, including, they say, taurine from some of the research that I have seen. So definitely really cool. So besides all the health benefits, and some of the health benefits may range from reducing inflammation, reducing clogged arteries, which what I've seen and read from testimonials. Other things are that it just plain tastes good and is super good for you, because it's always best to eat naturally grown foods and not things out of packages, bottles, and jars. And that's why I'm juicing these today. And that's what the Omega Vert 350 HD allows me to do. It allows me to take these fruits, which, you could eat raw, as after all, they are called cactus pears. And I have a couple that have been pre-husked here. But the problem with them is, let's go ahead and cut one of these in half. You could look inside there, and I don't know if you could see that on the video. Whoa, it's a little bit slippery. You could see all the seeds in there, and there's a lot of seeds in there. There's up to 10% seeds in some of these cactus pears. Now, unlike eating an apple or a regular pear, we eat the fruit and all the seeds are in like a nice little container in the middle. No, not on these guys. These seeds are everywhere. So you could eat these, but the problem is you might bite in the seeds, maybe break a tooth even. So it's very actually inconvenient to eat these seeds. But with the juicer, it allows you to separate the juice or the nutrition from the fiber, including the seeds, and so you don't have to deal with them. So it's really a good use of a juicer. And that's what the juicer does in general. It separates the juice from the fiber, and especially in things like the leafy green vegetables and other vegetables that most people don't eat enough of. You could take out the fiber, juice a lot of greens, and get that liquid nutrition in your body. It's definitely the best in the world for you, in my opinion. So next, let's talk more about this cactus fruit and how I'm going to juice it today. So you can see here the cactus fruit. It has the peel and all. And, some people may juice this with the peel and all. I'd actually recommend that you don't juice it with the peel and all. And I say that for 2 reasons. The first reason is because one time I wild harvested some cactus fruits from the wild, and they still have the spines on them. And when you buy them in the store, generally they're de-spined, because they can actually hurt, and man, they're hard to get out. Actually, they're small little prickers. But the other reason besides the spines to peel them is because I had a bad reaction. So when I wild harvested some of these cactus fruits, I made a juice and I drank the juice, and within 2 hours, let's say that my bowels completely evacuated and I felt sick for like the next, 1.5 days. So it was not a good incident. So since that time, I only advocate actually peeling your cactus fruit, whether they're store-bought or wild. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is simply, if you don't peel your cactus fruit, the skins actually are a little bit more gelatinous. Much like if you ever cut open an aloe vera leaf, it's kind of like jelly, and your juice will be more like a jelly consistency than a juice. That being said, this does make a thick nectar anyways. So next, let's talk about how to select a ripe cactus fruit. So say you go to your store and they have 2 kinds. They have a green variety cactus fruit and they have a purple kind of cactus fruit. So if you're going for the purple kind cactus fruit, you want to get the darkest purple ones you want. And also remember, when selecting any fruit for juicing, you want to get the most hardest and firmest fruit possible. If you get soft, mushy fruits, then you're going to get soft, mushy juice. So say you're juicing, trying to juice soft, mushy apples. Instead of a juice, you're going to get applesauce. So whenever picking any fruits or vegetables for juicing, you always want to get the freshest quality fruits and vegetables possible. So when you're picking the purple ones, once again, you want to get the darkest, deepest, richest, firmest purple color. And if you're picking out the green ones, you want to get them not green, but you want to get them a little bit yellow. So you can see here in this one hand, in my right hand, I have a nice dark green cactus fruit. And in my left hand, I have a nice, rich, more yellow green fruit. So optimally, you want to get more of the yellow fruits. They tend to be a little bit riper. So there are different varieties of these. Sometimes you may get a good batch or a bad batch. Each of these will work. You know, the riper they are, generally the sweeter your juice will be, but you could still juice these and they won't be as sweet. So let me show you how to cut these up to prepare them next. Basically, we're just gonna peel them, and this is a very simple and easy process. We're gonna move my cutting board out a little bit. We're gonna put this cactus fruit on its side, and you're basically gonna cut off both ends. So on the bottom end, they grow on the plant from this stem end off the pad like this. We're gonna cut off this bottom end. Very simple, very easy. Take that off, and then on the top here we're going to cut off the stem end. And also when you're checking these to buy them, sometimes the stem end will get a little bit rotten. We're going to go ahead and cut that stem end off, and you're going to see we have a cut on the bottom and the top. Then we're going to simply take the knife and we're just going to slice down the body of the fruit. And once I got the knife stuck in there a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and pry this off a little way, and you're going to see it's like I'm unrolling a Tootsie Roll. After you unroll the Tootsie Roll, you know, when you bought those when you were a kid. The skin will basically just roll right off. You have the fruit now ready to juice, and you could compost the peel. So let me do that for you one more time. Once again, we're going to take the cactus fruit, cut off both ends. Then we're going to take the knife and cut down the middle all the way down. And then we're going to take the knife in there and go down and pry it up a little bit. And once you get it started, you're going to easily be able to roll that skin right off just like a Tootsie Roll wrapper on a Tootsie Pop. And you're all ready to juice. So now that I have all the fruit prepared, the next thing is we're going to get juicing. But before I do, let's talk about the juicer that I'm using today. Today I'm using the Omega Vert 350 HD juicer. This is called a vertical single auger style machine. And I like this machine for juicing fruits. And that being said, I don't necessarily recommend juicing fruits, because when you're juicing fruits, you remove the fiber from the juice, and it's the fiber that actually regulates the sugar into your bloodstream, so you get more of a sugar rush. Now, of course, fresh juice is way better than drinking a Coca-Cola or a coffee or something like that, but it's not as good as maybe drinking vegetable juices and eating your fruits whole or blending them up. That being said, I like to look at my life as good, better, and best, and if your options are drinking a fresh cactus juice, for example, or drinking a Coca-Cola, then you know what? I don't have to tell you which one is better. We want to get back to eating the foods found in nature, and you want to get back to processing them yourself in your own kitchen, and that's what the Omega Vert juicer allows you to do. So in any case, there's many juicers, and will other juicers juice the cactus fruit? Absolutely. Most juicers will juice this, but I find that this machine does the best at juicing fruits due to its design. So you can put fruits into a centrifugal ejection juicer and it's going to get some juice, but a lot of pulp is going to come out in the waste bin. Likewise, horizontal single auger juicers will juice this, but I just find this design is optimized for juicing a wide variety of things, including fruits, vegetables, including root vegetables and leafy greens. That being said, if you have a specific need or purpose, besides I want to juice everything, John, if you want to juice a lot of leafy greens, then I might recommend a horizontal single auger style juicer instead. So besides that, I like that this machine runs at a low 80 RPMs or revolutions per minute. It runs at a low speed, literally squeezes the juice out, so that does the least amount of damage to the food before we're actually going to drink it and put it into our bodies. The other thing is that it has a nice 10-year warranty, so that's a really long warranty. A lot of the juices you may buy at your local department store may have a 60 or 90-day warranty, which is really short. So I see a juicer as an investment. It's an investment in your health, the most important thing that you have. In any case, let's get started and juice this cactus fruit. Now this cactus fruit, really slippery. I mean, you could push it up. It's almost like has a slimy coating on it. Actually, that's kind of fun to do that. But in any case, so you gotta be careful when you handle them, otherwise they could fall on the floor. So all we need to do now, since we did peel them, is simply just cut them in half. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut those in half one at a time and feed them in the juicer. Now the important thing to remember when juicing in the Omega Vert is you need to let the machine have time to work. Once again, this is a slow juicer, runs at 80 RPMs. You can't just start cramming the stuff in there. And one of the things you should immediately do is not use the pusher that it comes with, because if you're using the pusher to push things in, you're probably pushing things in too fast. The only reason why the pusher should be used is if something's stuck in there and you need to get it kind of unjammed with the pusher. Otherwise, just drop a piece of fruit in there, let it work on it, and drop another one in at a slow and gradual pace. I would encourage you to watch a video entitled Juicing in the Omega Vert Best Practices that I have on YouTube for even better and more suggestions on how to optimize your juicing in the Omega Vert juicers. In any case, let's go ahead and turn the machine on and start juicing this cactus fruit. You could literally hear the juicer smash up all the seeds. You can see the juice coming out on this side and some of the pulp and the seeds coming out on that side. Man, that's loud. That's what your teeth would have to do on these seeds. But anyways, what the juicer's doing is separating the seeds from the juice, doing a really good job of that. And I want to remind you that, if you're juicing something with seeds, like these small seeds like in this cactus fruit, it's fine to juice. You could even juice things like pear seeds, apple seeds, and orange seeds. You could even juice something like cherry pits in here. But don't put anything larger than a cherry pit. If something has a seed larger than a cherry pit or harder than a cherry pit, then you need to remove it. When in doubt, take it out is what I like to say. So always remove your seeds if you're not exactly sure if you can juice them or not. So you can see here, really simple and easy to juice in the Omega Vert juicer with the cactus fruit. We're just putting a piece in at a time and we're getting a nice liquid juice out. And you can see on this side, literally all we're getting on this side is like all these seeds, all the bits of seeds. Right here, this pretty much looks like a bag of bird food, except it's all wet, all the seeds. So that's what the juicer is supposed to do. It's extracting the juice from all the fiber. And man, let me tell you, this stuff's gonna be really good. So I'm gonna continue to juice this cactus fruit. I'll be back at you in a little bit when I'm almost finished. So I'm more than halfway done juicing the cactus pears. As you can see, my collection cup is full. And actually, this is the second time I've filled this, so I've made now a total of 10 cups of the cactus pear juice. We're gonna go ahead and turn that off, and we're gonna put in a new cup. And you can buy extra cups from the manufacturer if you'd like to. That being said, besides the regular, collection cups you could buy, you could also just use a jar, a mason jar, such as this one, to collect the juice. Sometimes I'll just take the mason jar. This is the wide mouth mason jar. I'll just take that and put it underneath. So it doesn't fit exactly right, but it fits good enough. And I'll juice directly into that. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll basically take the juice that comes out of the juicer from the collection cup and then just pour it in to a mason jar for storage. And you can see the consistency of that juice. No real big chunks, nice, clean, and man, that's going to be so delicious. So when storing juice, I always recommend you fill the container up to the brim or as high as possible, even actually overflowing it. Because the worst thing that you can do to your juice is expose it to air. Once all the cell walls have been ruptured, then the nutrition that's locked inside those cell walls are now exposed to the air, and it causes oxidation. That's what happens to your car. If you get a scratch in your car, it starts to rust. Rust is just another form of oxidation. So now we're going to put this cap on with very little airspace and screw this tight. Now, while I don't recommend storing your juices, if you do need to store your juices, this is the best way to do it. Keep it nice and cold and I would always encourage you to drink your juices within 72 hours no matter what. So I always recommend that you drink your juice right after it's made or as soon as possible, and I would like to see you drink it within 24 hours. I mean, is the juice still good? Yes, the juice is still good. The problem is some of the nutrition goes down as time goes down, so you can minimize this by, you know, minimizing the amount of air in the juice and also keeping it nice and cold to preserve it. I would much rather encourage you to actually juice multiple times a day than make like a big batch in the morning. Now I know you're saying, John, I gotta go to work, you know, so either I make it all in the morning and take some to work, or I don't drink it. Well, guess what? Good, better, best. You know, you can't make juice multiple times a day, then you're far better off to make your own fresh juice, large batch in the morning, take it to work, and drink it throughout the day, keep it cold, and that's gonna be much better than going to the, you know, coffee machine at work or getting a soda or even getting a bottled juice from a store, because most of the bottled juice in the stores have been pasteurized, and when you make your own fresh juice, it contains all the enzymes and much higher levels of nutrition than bottled, processed, packaged juices. So I'm gonna probably store this because I have so much cactus juice I just can't drink it all. So that's that, and let's continue juicing some more. Real simple, real easy to juice the cactus fruit. Just cut it in half, drop it in, and let the juicer do all the work. An alternate technique to do this is you could cut all your cactus fruits up like this, put it in a blender, blend that up at high speed, and once again, a blender is not a juice. The blender literally mixes up everything, so you're gonna get a mixture of the pulp with the seeds, and then you're gonna take that mixture and put it through a cheesecloth bag and squeeze out all the juice, and all the seeds will be left in the cheesecloth bag. Now, while you can do this, you know, it just gets messy. You're having to deal with the cheesecloth bag. You got to clean the cheesecloth bag, and plus you're running at high RPMs. With most blenders, and especially high power blenders, they run at over 20,000 RPMs. For example, the Vitamix runs at 37,000 RPMs. That's like, I don't know how many thousand times faster than an 80 RPM juicer. So remember, with every RPM, there's more oxygen being interjected into the juice, which then causes nutrient degradation. So my job is to get you guys the highest nutrition possible. And that's why I like the Omega Vert and other slow RPM juicers. It preserves as much nutrition as possible. Although there is one better way than the Omega Vert to preserve the nutrition, and that's basically given to us right here. Our chompers. If we chew on the cactus fruit and then drink all the juice and spit all the seeds out, we are basically nothing more than a juice extractor. But who has the time to eat cactus fruit and spit all the seeds out? I mean, I know I sure don't. So we're gonna stick to the juicer. So some of the purported benefits of drinking cactus juice are reduced inflammation and reducing like your blood pressure. Now, I can't make any medical claims on my show, but I've heard that those is what people have experienced. What I can tell you from my personal testimonial and my personal experience is that the more fresh foods you eat, including fruits and vegetables, whether they're eaten whole, blended, or juiced, and the less processed foods that come out of a can, bottle, and jar you eat, the healthier you're gonna be. So that's why I really like the juicers and the appliances that allow you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, because those are the foods that even the government says to eat 5 to 9 servings a day, and most people still don't do that. So that's where the juicer could come in to help you at least meet your goal of 5 to 9 servings a day. And let me tell you something, I eat much more than that. Easily any day of the week. Alright, so we just have a few more cactus pears left to juice. Looks like we're gonna make another 5 cups, so 1 bowl of cactus fruits probably yielded about 15 cups of juice. And if you're wondering, the first 5 cups of juice, already drank it. It's so good, man. So this stuff, what it tastes like depending on the cactus fruits you're getting, these ones have a much more mild flavor. So if you ever had like an unripe melon juice, that's what this stuff tastes like. It's a nice and mild. And it has a little bit of a regular pear texture. Little bit gritty, but not much. Oh man, it's just so good. So as you can see, the Omega Vert has been sitting here running continuously for all this time. We're probably pushing 25, 30 minutes at this point. And yes, the machine down here is warm. The motor body is warm. And you shouldn't use your juicer more than about a half hour at a time without it resting. You want to give the motor a chance to, wow, man, look at all this pulp built up in here. You want to give the motor a chance to basically cool down if you're doing long juice sessions. Once again, up to a half hour, not a problem. But if we check the top of the machine, it's still rather cold because these Cactus pears were actually stored in my fridge and actually stored for about 30 days. So these guys, if you get them when they're nice and firm, they can last in your fridge for a little bit. Looks like we filled up yet another container. We're gonna go ahead and turn the machine off and put a new container in there and continue juicing. Oh, look at this. This is down to our last cactus fruit. Turn the machine back on and put this back in there. And there's some stuff in the bottom of the bowl. We're gonna also drop this stuff into the machine. Get it juiced right up. This has worked simply amazing, and I do encourage you, if you are juicing cactus fruits, I personally prefer to juice the darker cactus fruits, like the purple variety, than the green variety. So the purple variety has more antioxidants because that's all the coloring in the cactus fruit. But don't forget, in the green cactus fruit, there's chlorophyll, because green is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is good for us as well. Any case, that's pretty much it for the juice in the cactus fruit. I've yielded approximately, let's see, 15 cups, about 15, 17, 16 and a half, 17 cups from one big bowl of cactus fruits. And the Omega Vert's done really well, still running, a little bit warm, but it's time to turn it off, give it a rest. And you know, this is one of the easiest juicers to clean. This one takes me under 3 minutes to clean. Very simple, very easy. Let me go ahead and show you the pieces and show you the parts and show you what's left in the juicer after you're done. Now the trick here is if I had a jug of water, I could pour the jug of water through the machine after taking off your juice and let the water run through the machine, and that's going to help you clean the machine out a little bit. But even if I don't do that, you can see here I have the top and there's some residual juice on there. The next part that comes out of the machine is the auger. On the auger, you're always going to see a little bit of a pulp stuck on the auger, but you know, there's not much pulp left on there. The next part of the machine that's the hardest to clean on any juicer is the juicing screen. So the screen on the outside is relatively clean of pulp, and on the inside you're going to see some residual pulp, and that's completely normal. Besides the juicing screen, you have the wiping blades, really simple to clean once again, and besides that you just have the juicing bowl here. And actually this juicing bowl still has a little bit of juice in it, and we're going to go ahead pour that off. But yeah, once again, this is very easy to clean too. So you have a minimal amount of parts to clean, and you know, you get to be rewarded after you make the juice with the fresh juice itself. So we're going to drink some of that for you on the camera. That's a nice mixture between like a juice, which is nice and thin, and a nectar, which is nice and thick. It's kind of like halfway in between. It's oh so delicious. Mild sweetness, similar to melons, similar to maybe some pear juice, but it's unlike anything you've ever tasted. So if you haven't yet tried to juice some cactus pears, I'd recommend you juice them in the Omega Vert 350 HD juicer. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.